I'm Luke Bundon, and I'm a sixth former.
And I'm Robbie Handelsman. I'm a third former.
Welcome to our campus and our home.
Let's show you around.
Welcome to the newly renovated Walker Building lobby.
The Walker Building houses our fourth formers and also a library and some common areas. So this is one of our common spaces that people come just to play pool, some ping pong, just to spend their free time with some friends. On top of the fir tree, which is the newly renovated snack bar, we also have a community kitchen right down the hall here where guys can go make some food.
Welcome to the St. Andrew's Chapel. It's a really important space because once a week the entire community comes together and we have a chapel service together. One of my favorite times of year is the candlelight service. We sing Silent Night and the entire chapel is lit up only by the candles we hold.
Welcome to the Walker Fine Arts Center where all of our arts classes are held. We also have an auditorium down the hall where all main stage events are held. There's also gallery space so students can showcase their art.
Right now we're outside of Keenan Hall. It doubles as the dining hall and the math building. Inside there's also the Brown Lecture Hall and more study spaces where students can collaborate, work on whiteboards, or they can study on their own in their free time.
Behind me is the Manning Science Building, which is my personal favorite building. All of our science classes are held here, and there's also plenty of labs, which teachers do a great job of using for interactives. Though this is our science building, most teachers use the whole campus to learn and explore.
Right now we're outside of Armfield and Anderson Halls where we have foreign language, English, and history classes. All classes here are pretty small, which from a student's perspective is really beneficial. Obviously, being an all-boarding school, there are a lot of dorms around campus.
Dorm life is important because it's a great opportunity to bond, and if you ever need someone to talk to, they're just down the hall.
And now we're at Johnson Stadium at Haynes Field, where we have our football games and lacrosse games.
Just nearby is our soccer field and outdoor track facility.
And then there's our baseball field, which is surrounded by our golf course.
Also the Bar B, which houses our indoor track facility and indoor swimming pool. Next stop is the Dick Gymnasium, where all of our basketball games and practices are held.
On the lower level of the gym is the Riley Wrestling Room and the climbing wall.
Also on the lower level is the Glover Center, which is our weight room.
Welcome to the Alpine Tower. This is where we have our climbing wall and ropes course. Also nearby is the Rapidan River, where we like to go down and fish. And alongside the Rapidan is the perimeter trail, where we hike, mountain bike, and build forts.
Another place we like to fish and hang out is the Robertson Lake, and just nearby that is our outdoor pool. I've noticed we touched on it earlier. In addition to our driving range, we have a 9-hole golf course, which is open to our youth.
Most of our faculty lives on campus, so it makes it easy for us to stop by for a quick meeting or even a home-cooked meal.
Thanks for coming along on our tour.
It's truly a campus like no other, and we hope you can come see it for yourself.
好，那么我们接下来呢，将要进行分享的是Woodberry Forest School 哈，那么 Woodberry Forest School 呢是全美排名前20的 最佳男子高中那么是这个华盛顿特区附近最大的这个寄宿学校校园之一，那么占地呢达到了1200英亩我们非常荣幸呢邀请到了 Woodberry 学校招生主任Carla 女士为我们带来分享那么在讲座的最后呢，我们会有问答环节，各位同学和家长可以在聊天室内随时进行问题的留言。Hi Carla, please feel free to share your screen and we can start the presentation.
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good evening, good morning for you all. My name is Carla Vargas Kennedy, and I am the assistant headmaster at Woodberry Forest School, which is located in Central Virginia, a little bit north of Charlottesville, where the University of Virginia is, and a little southwest of Washington, D.C. So we're about an hour and a little bit away from Washington, D.C. We are an all-boys boarding school. And that has about 10% of our student body is international, though more of our student body is expatriate. So many of our students live abroad.
Okay. 好，我们刚刚呢，这个招生官 Carla 女士呢，介绍了学校大概的一个位置那么学校地理位置非常方便，离这个华盛顿特区就这个美国的首都只有1个小时的这个车程那么学生呢有10%的国际学生那么大部分学生呢都是住在学校当中的是寄宿在学校当中。
So I have a very short video and it's in Mandarin. So hopefully that will be a little bit easier on you.
Sure.
So you don't have to translate so much.
Thank you so much.
是为了那些有追求的、那些展望未来的、勇于挑战自我的年轻人们而存在的，因为他们坚信挑战能使自己收获成长。对他们来说 ，Woodberry 的含义是兄弟，是集体，也会是一生的挚友。就像漫步在这所为男孩们而建造的学校里，你会发现，这里不仅有着悠久的传统，也孕育着对新事物的好奇和包容。为了改变，成为最好的我们不仅拥抱改变，更鼓励那些正在追求改变的他们。在这里，我们时刻坚守着荣誉和正义感。在这里，我们将通过非凡的经历来迎接并改变未来。
好的那么刚刚呢招生官主任 Carla 给我们播放了这个中文版的学校的介绍那么这个非常感谢 Carla 女士那么相信大家对学校它的这个整体的这个包括校园的景色以及环境有了一定的了解。
All right. So Woodberry Forest, as I mentioned, is an all-boys boarding school. We are 100% boarding. So we have no day students. So all of our community lives on this campus, even our teachers.
那么我们刚刚也提到了这个Woodberry 学校呢是所有的这个男子的这个寄宿学校那么所有的学生都是寄宿学生包括老师也跟同学们一起都住在校园内。
So the focus and the mission of our school is to develop students with a high sense of honor and moral integrity. All of our students are strong students, but at our core in what we believe in is developing a deep respect for scholarship and a deep personal respect for themselves.
对那么现在呢我们讲到的是这个学校的宗旨那么首先第一个呢就是Woodberry 学校呢要培养学生具有高度的这个荣誉意识和道德操守那么关于包括对于这个奖学金有表现的一定的这个尊重以及呢乐于帮助别人去牺牲自己的这样的一个奉献精神。
We develop our students into leaders, and we find that they are leaders of industry all around the world. And the values that they learn at Woodberry help them throughout their whole life.
对那么接下来呢学校还会比如说提升学生们的这个技能让他们成为这个领导者那么呢培养他们对之后的这个社会包括这个科技上面社会上面都做出自己的这个贡献。
We consistently provide our students with a strong program that leads them to some of the best colleges and universities in the country.
那么同时学校呢也为学生提供非常全面的这个大学申请的准备还有支持那么培养他们个人这个潜在能力以及未来的这个大学比如说专业的这样的一个方向的选择。
As I mentioned, we're all boarding. 97% of our faculty live on campus, so they are available to students 24 hours a day.
那么我们刚刚提到了哈，那么因为学校是全部的这个在学校里寄宿的，所以呢所有的学生包括97%的这个教职工都是生活在学校里面的。
Our students hail from 31 states and the District of Columbia, along with 30 countries. So the community itself is a diverse community, both nationally and internationally.
好那么关于学校的这个社区还有不同的这个文化那么学校的这个学生呢来自于全美的37个州以及这个特殊的这个哥伦比亚地区那么国际学生呢有来自全球的30多个国家的这个学生那么孩子们呢可以在这样的这个多元化的环境当中去体验不同的文化去交流去进行这个思想的一个碰撞。
Our boys study here largely free from distraction. They live on 1,200 acres. We are one of the largest boarding schools in the United States in terms of land. And we are situated between several cities. So they have access to cities, but we are able to close ourselves off, which allowed us during COVID specifically to continue on and be able to have classes even when things were bad everywhere else.
That's awesome. 那么后面呢，我们介绍到了这个学校这个位置也是非常得天独厚的那么一方面呢，学校它在这个离市区比较便捷那么我们刚刚提到离这个 Washington DC 可能就只有1个小时的车程。那么同时呢学校周边的环境也是非常安全的那么周边比如说可以很容易的接触到大自然。这也是为什么在这个 COVID 的期间呢我们学校还是可以正常去上课的不受到这个外界的影响。
So we are focused intentionally on the transformation of boys and helping them grow both academically, but also social emotionally into respectful and men of integrity.
那么虽然我们是这个全部都是这个男孩子就是男校但是呢学校有意识的去培养所有的这个男孩子们去如何成长成为一个比如说这个懂得尊重别人那么拥有荣誉感的一个男人去承担这个社会的责任同时呢学校呢还会这个结构性的并且系统化的去培养每一个孩子他的这个发展那么最主要的就是强调他们的一个自信，建立自信那么以及呢他的这个坚韧的品格那么还有他这个自立自强的一个精神。
We are structured to nurture each student's development, and we emphasize confidence, resiliency, independence. You will not see our boys on campus walking with their faces buried in cell phones. That's not part of our culture. We teach them to be social and to be able to relate to other people and not just to technology.
That's good. 好，那么我们接下来这个Carla 老师也介绍到了在校园里你完全不会看到这个孩子们低头都在玩的这个手机这个同时呢也不是学校的这样的一个文化那么学校非常注重的是培养学生他有这个社交的能力而不是单独的只钻研在学习或者说只钻研在这个他的这个手机或者说一些现代科技上面。
So most schools will tell you that they have a very low student to faculty ratio, but that doesn't necessarily manifest in smaller classes. But for us, it does. Our average class is about 9 students.
好那么我们现在呢重点来讲一下这个Woodberry 学校它的这个学术的经历包括这个学术的一些课程的构造那么首先呢每一节课基本上会有9个学生来组成。
60% of our faculty hold advanced degrees, so they have doctorates. And then we have 39 AP college level courses that we offer. Though we are not an AP school, our students take AP exams, but we find that our classes are much stronger curriculum courses than the AP program. So our students are, they take the AP exam at the end of the semester, but they learn much further than what the AP curriculum provides.
好那么接下来呢，老师介绍到了这个学校的师生比例哈是6:1那么基本上呢有包括这个教师资源有60%以上的这个教师呢，他是拥有这个高等学历的那么包括了这个高等学历的是包括从这个硕士以上硕士跟博士的学历那么最后一个呢，就是学校还提供不同的这个艺术课程，还有这个 AP 课程那么在每一个这个比如说每年的5月份那么孩子们去经历完这个 AP 考试当中，那么很多孩子他都会去选一门比如说艺术相关的课程那么不光是准备考试那么在这个准备考试的过程中呢，孩子也学到了更多其他方面的这样的一些知识。
We have an adaptive curriculum, which means that it grows as the student grows and matures. So our third form and fourth form, or 9th and 10th grade years, students have a different academic schedule than they do in their later years in the 11th and 12th grade.
好那么我们这个学校当中呢分为2种不同的这个课程一个呢就是说适应性的这个课程，那么适应性的课程主要是在孩子们9年级跟10年级的时候学校会提供这种课程，那么这样呢是让孩子们去发掘他们的一个兴趣所在那么接下来呢就到了这个 senior 比如说这个11年级或者说12年级学校会给孩子们提供区别于的这个有区别化的这样的一个课程的这个机会哈。那么这个时候呢，就是孩子们比如说他们已经明确了自己的这个目标，明确了自己的这个学术的方向那么孩子们可以就是更精准的去上他们感兴趣的这类课程。
We also offer a senior distinction opportunity, which is a research program for students so that they can set themselves apart in their final year and can study deeply something that they are passionate about.
对，我们刚刚补充一下这个 senior distinction opportunity 哈，那么这个里面呢，具体包含的比如说老师刚刚讲到的一些科研的项目那么这些科研项目呢，比如说可以帮助孩子们在之后未来大学申请当中哈，也有一个比较亮眼的一个经历那么这些呢都是提供给12年级的这个学生的可以去进行参与的这样的一些课程。
The arts are really strong at Woodberry Forest. We have 150 students who are involved in different music ensembles. They take 20 different art courses that are offered, and we have about 4 or 5 theater productions each year. So our students are not just academically strong and also athletes, but they are involved in the arts as well.
那么我们接下来呢老师介绍到了这个学校的艺术方面是怎么样培养孩子们的那么第一幅图呢，我们可以看到有超过150个学生都参加了学校的这个音乐合奏那么学校也提供20多种不同的艺术类的课程那么其中呢，比如说包括这个视觉艺术包括这个美术绘画这样子多种多样的艺术课程那么同时呢，每年学校呢会有5个戏剧方面的这样的一个作品产出。No problem.
So we have 18 different sports and 42 different teams at Woodberry. For us, honor and integrity also leads to the field as well. Our students are physically active. We make sure that they are involved in some sort of athletic endeavor while they're here. And sports is an important part of life at Woodberry.
好，那么接下来呢我们也讲到了这个Woodberry 的这个体育方面的一些课程，包括体育方面的一些活动那么学校呢总共提供18种不同种类的这样的这个体育活动那么有42个不同的这个体育队那么孩子们他可以根据他的这个兴趣来去选择，比如说自己想要参加哪一项这个体育活动那么这个体育运动呢在 Woodberry 当中也是非常重要的这个学校文化的组成部分。
Quite a few of our students go on to play sports in college and in university, and so it's a really strong program all around.
那么学校这边呢也非常支持孩子们参加这个体育活动哈因为确实有些时候体育活动的这个亮眼的一些成绩会在你大学录取当中会起到非常大的这个帮助。
Our college counseling process starts in the second portion of the 10th grade year and becomes more intensive in the 11th grade year and finalizing with the 12th grade year. Our students are going to a variety of different schools all around the United States and all around the world. This is a sampling of schools that have received multiple Woodberry students over the last 5 years. So you can see that while we're in Virginia, our reach is pretty far. That encompasses state schools, private schools, Ivies, and Ivy Pluses.
那么我们现在呢看到了就是学校的这个college 大学的这个规划跟咨询方面那么这个 Woodberry 学校呢，从孩子们10年级开始提供这个大学申请方面的一些规划还有指导那么我们现在看到的这一页就是说近5年当中呢，这个 Woodberry 所有孩子们他们的一个大概的这个毕业的走向我们可以看到有很多比如说这个藤校那个前10、前20的学校以及一些非常棒的这个，比如说这个technology 的这样的学校，都会有这个非常优秀的毕业生可以申请到这些学校。
Our international students, in particular our Chinese students, have been highly successful at Woodberry and are generally are able to go to the types of institutions that they select. And so this is a recent list from the last several years. We only have 4 Chinese students per grade. So the list is smaller because we don't have a huge portion of the population that is Chinese, but these are the schools that they have selected in the last 5 years.
好那么我们现在看到的这一页呢，是近5年来这个中国学生在这个 Woodberry 毕业的一个走向我们可以看到也是有很多的这个基本上是在全美前10、前20跟前30的学校，那么还有英国的像这个牛津大学等一些大学也在这个名单当中那么刚刚这个卡尔老师也介绍到这个每个年级呢只有4个中国学生，所以说这个比例是比较少的那么我们也可以看到这个比例那么每一年这个我们中国学生的这个大学的毕业走向也是非常不错的。
Our application process, we take both the standardized application and the Woodberry application. We require an interview and we encourage on-campus interviews if at all possible. Otherwise, if you cannot make it to campus, we can arrange it via Skype or Zoom. We also require standardized testing, but I'll talk about that separately.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. 好，那么我们现在呢，讲到了这个 Woodberry 它的一个申请的流程那么首先呢是有2个不同的这个申请类型，一个呢你可以是在学校的官网上面进行申请，那么第2个呢就是使用这个SAO 进行申请那么比较主要的呢是学校关于这个 tour 跟 interview 这个是必要的那么每一个学生要申请的话都要进行这个访校以及是面试那么如果在美国本地的同学们尽量可以去预约这个实地的访校那么如果是比如说咱们国际学生的话那就可以通过这个 Zoom 或者 Skype 等形式进行访校跟这个预约面试。
We do generally require standardized testing. We take the SSAT, the IC, the PSAT, SAT, pre-ACT, and ACT. For international students, we also require either the Duolingo or we require a TOEFL. International students can go test optional if they would like, but that requires a conversation and that does not waive the language test. So we would still need a TOEFL or a Duolingo exam.
好那么接下来呢，老师介绍到了关于标化成绩考试的这样的一个内容那么学校呢，其实一直来说都是比较建议孩子们提交自己的这个标化考试成绩的比如说这个 SSAT、ISE、PSAT 等这些标化考试成绩那么当然了，这个呢，由于疫情的原因，也是可以进行选择性的提交的但是呢，还是非常强烈建议大家进行提交那么对于国际学生来说这个语言成绩是必不可少的比如说学校这边可以接受托福、雅思还有 Duolingo 的成绩这些都是可以进行提交的。
For all students, we require a graded writing sample. So that would be an essay that was written this year for an English teacher with comments from that teacher. If you elect to go test optional, then we will be requiring additional math supplements as well. And we require for all students recommendations and transcripts from their math and English teacher and school counselor.
好那么对于所有的学生呢这个学校这边要求一个是这个英语老师评判的这个孩子的他的一个写作的之前的一个作业一定要有英语老师的一个评语那么接下来呢就是之前已经被评判的，比如说孩子他的一个数学的考试那么接下来呢孩子们他的这个推荐信以及他的这个成绩单都是必不可少的。像这个推荐信呢，比如说是从这个现在的这个英语老师
Affordability for those who are interested, 46% of our students receive some. So affordability for those who are interested, 46% of our students receive some sort of aid. We have a $7.3 million financial aid budget, and our awards range from $2,200 to $62,200. And we are a need-based school that has priority deadlines. So if you are interested in applying for aid, you must follow the deadlines.
好，那么我们现在呢介绍到了就是这个Woodberry 学校它的这个奖学金这个申请哈那么有46%的学生，那么现在呢都申请了这个奖学金哈，在这个Woodberry 学校里那么每年呢有700多万美金的这个支持对于孩子们的这个学习上面的这个支持那么总的这个奖学金呢会达到从这个2200美元一直到这个62200美元这样的一个范围内那么如果要申请奖学金的同学们请尽快开始了因为这个是要在11月15号是奖学金的这个提交的一个日期。那么接下来呢，老师他会有一个详细的介绍。
This year, we have started an early decision program, which is brand new to the school. It's called December Decision, and it will allow students to learn about their decision by December 15th, provided that they submit all materials by November 15th. And then contracts would be due in January. But that does allow for several months in advance to be able to know whether you have been admitted to the institution or not.
好那么 Woodberry 学校呢，它有这个早申请那么我们现在看到的就是12月份可以知道录取结果的那么这个申请的提交日期呢是在11月15号是最后的提交日期。那么大概会在12月15号这个你的这个录取结果就会被公布。那么在1月份的时候呢，就开始准备入学或者说是其他的一些材料的准备了。
This is an ideal program for students who know that they are 100% interested in Woodberry, because we require that if they are admitted, that they withdraw applications from other institutions.
那么这个呢也是非常主要的一个为什么提供早申请的一个原因哈那么如果说孩子们在这个1月15号就已经知道会被 Woodberry 录取了，那么他可以去撤回其他学校的这样的一个申请。
Our first round applications are due January 15th, and we release decisions on March 10th. So students are then required to make a decision by April 10th. It's important, therefore, that you start the application in October so that you can test either in October or November and have your interview before that January 15th deadline.
那么我们现在介绍呢是这个第一轮的，就是我们正常轮的这个申请那么截止日期呢是在1月15号那么会在这个3月10号公布这个你的这个是否被录取的结果那么在4月10号左右呢是进行这个入学的注册。
And I'm going to end it there so that you can ask any questions that you like. My hope is that if you are interested in Woodberry, that you contact us because we love to get to know you and your son and what you're interested in getting out of a school. You know, our school is a very relational school, and we truly appreciate and care for all of the boys and all of the families that are a part of our community.
Sure. Thank you so much, Miss Carla. 好，那么刚刚Carla 招生官呢跟我们就是大部
Did you
分这个
want
学校介绍。
to
Yeah, so I'm still like translating, and after that, I'm gonna to pick the like some questions and we can
Absolutely.
answer it. Yeah, thank you. 好，我们招生官这个Miss Carla 女士呢，刚刚也提到了关于申请方面的一些具体要求那么现在呢，我们进入到这个问答环节那么各位同学跟家长呢，可以在这个聊天室内继续留言那么我们现在来挑选几个问题。Yeah, so one of our parents are asking, what kind of applicants does Woodberry looking for?
So that is a really good question. And it's not an easy one to answer. We are looking for students who are strong academically. That is a given. We are looking for students who are interested in an experience that is more than just a school. Because our community, you have to invest in our community if you want to be here. That means participate, right? As I mentioned, our kids do not walk around with cell phones. So a student who just wants to be in their room and be left alone will not be happy at Woodberry. We look for kids who are well-rounded, athletes, academically strong, into the arts, want to make friends, and who really are interested in the school as well.
是那么我们刚刚家长问到一个问题，那么就是 Woodberry 学校呢看重，比如说是最看重，比如说最期望什么样的这个学生那么首先呢，老师强调了一个是第一个就是孩子的这个学术成绩要比较的亮眼那么同时呢，孩子要对这个新鲜的事物会比较感兴趣比如
numerically.
Yes, please go ahead.
Numerically, our students who take the TOEFL score right around 100. It is a pretty strong program at Woodberry, and we do not offer ESL. So it's really important that students have a strong command of the language before they come to the school.
Got it. Thank you. I will translate that. 那么我们继续刚刚提到的孩子们不仅需要这个有可以快速融入环境的能力那么同时呢，在 Woodberry 这个学校也建议孩子们要多去社交，多去交朋友那么各方面其实综合来说，各方面这个素质都要比较强因为这个 Woodberry 学校它的这个竞争也是非常强的那么刚刚这个 Carla 老师也提到了这个孩子们的一个平均托福的分数基本是在100分以上或者说100分左右那么同时呢学校不提供这个 ESL 的课程那么 ESL 的课程呢就是说这个额外的这个语言支持那么也就是因此决定了孩子们他的这个英文水平一定要达标的Okay, sure. So, yeah. So the next question is gonna be, how does the school manage like the international student? Is there any like additional support for the international student?
Absolutely. So we have a international student director who works with international students. So she helps from everything from coordinating travel to taking the kids to go buy foods that they want, to helping them celebrate holidays while they're here and coordinating festivals for them, to coordinating meals in the dining hall. She really is there to help them with everything that they they need, however they need support. And that was really helpful when COVID began, that our students were able to stay on our campus longer. We helped them get home quickly, and we facilitated all of that for them so that their parents would not have to worry.
Oh, that's so warm. 是，好，我们刚刚有家长问到哈，那么学校对于国际学生是如何管理的？有没有一些额外的支持那么刚刚招生官老师也提到了，对于国际学生来说呢，我们学校呢是非常支持的，包括比如说有各种不同的这个节日那么老师们会带孩子们去庆祝那么同时呢包括这个饮食方面，这个 Woodberry 学校呢也会提供多种多样的，比如说如果说我们中国学生在的话，可能会有一些，比如是中国特色的这个饮食跟食物可以提供给孩子们那么同时呢，在这个 COVID 的期间那么学校呢也是帮助国际学生。还回到了自己的这个家乡那么同时呢，这个学校在从中协调各种各样的这个流程那么对这个国际学生的这个照顾是非常温暖的。Okay.
It is important to understand, though, that we only have 4 Chinese students per grade. So that's a total of 16 students in the whole school. So so students will be speaking in English most of the time, and that can be for some students tiring. And it is, so it's a little bit of a harder environment than places where they can default to speaking Chinese a great deal. So while it is a more pure sort of American experience, it is something that is best suited for students with a strong command of English or a strong urge to want to learn it.
对那么刚刚我们招生官也提到了我们每一个年级呢只有4名中国学生，那么全校呢只有16名中国学生那也就是说孩子们大部分的时间不管是中国学生还是国际学生，大部分时间都是在说英语的那么这个环境呢，其实对于这个孩子们来说会比较好的那因为呢他们可以很快的适应这个英文的这个环境也可以帮助他们更快的融入这个 Woodberry 这样的一个这个大集体大社区Okay. Sure. So there is a question about like the parents' communication with the school. So if this students' parents, like are international parents, so if they didn't know the English, how would the parents connect with the students or with the school, and how does the parents can communicate with the school?
So we have a parent newsletter that goes out every week and will give families information about what's going on in the school. Every student has an advisor. And we have Chinese teachers on campus, so who are Chinese language speakers. So if it becomes difficult to communicate, we generally will get a translator. To make sure that the student parents are getting the information that they need about their student, and the international student director will help coordinate that.
That's great. 好，我们有家长问到了，就是说，请问学校怎么跟这个咱们中国的家长沟通不擅长英文的话那么老师提到了，那么学校每周呢都会给家长发送这个每周的邮件，那么汇报孩子们包括学校近期发生的这个一系列的这个事情以及公告那么同时呢，每一个孩子他都有自己的这个 advisor那么有自己的这个咨询导师那么这个家长呢可以随时联系到这个自己孩子的这个咨询导师校内咨询导师。那么同时呢，学校也配备中文老师、中国老师那么这个中国老师呢是可以说中文的那么如果说家长跟学校沟通有问题的话，学校这边可以让这个中国老师去进行全程的翻译所以学校也是有这个支持这个翻译的所以这个沟通的问题，家长们可以不用担心Okay. Yeah, so Yeah, so some of our parents are asking about what is the difference between like the boys' school or like the co-education school, like the boys and the girls' school. What is most different?
So the biggest difference is that Monday through Friday, our boys focus on being strong students, wonderful artists, and good athletes, all of the things that will help them get into good colleges and universities. And then they get to socialize on the weekend when they get time off, and they get to just have some fun during that time so that they are really going to school without distractions. Oftentimes in co-ed environments, it can be a little bit difficult to be able to handle both the academic portion along with the socialization portion. And this takes out the pressure. Our boys, while we are single gendered, it's not girl free. They see girls and they interact with other schools every weekend. So we have events every weekend, but Monday through Friday, they're working on themselves.
OK，好我们刚刚有家长问到了这个单性别的男校跟这个男女混校最大的这个区别是什么那么学校老师介绍到了，那么孩子们从周一到周五都在通过不同各式各样的这个适合男生的这些课程，去帮助孩子们，比如说成长成为一个大人，成长成为一个对社会有用的人那么培养孩子们变得更加强壮，不管是这个学术上的、生活上的还是心理上的都会让这个男孩子们来变得更加这个成长的更加好那么同时呢学校也没有其他额外的一些比如说这个影响那么包括孩子的这个身心健康这些学校都会这个照顾得非常好那么说到是单性别的这个学校，赵正光老师也介绍了，并不是就是每天都看不到女生了这样子那么同时呢，学校其实也会在有些时候跟其他的这个，比如说男女混校的这样的这个学校进行一些这个集体的活动那么男生呢也会有机会，比如说跟大家去一起这个交朋友，或者说是一起学习、共同交流跟沟通的。Okay, sure. So, yeah. So, the next question is that what is the most like the different from like Woodberry school from other school? What is like the most signature program in the Woodberry?
I think the most significant program for us is the way that we put the entire program together. First, we are not a specialized school, meaning that we run a liberal arts curriculum, which is incredibly important for students when they go to college, because it allows them to be strong across the board in all areas. And so that if a student goes into college thinking they want to study history and then decide that they want to study sciences, they have the skills to be able to switch in college what their studies are, because our students, our program is built sort of on the concept of the Renaissance man, a young man who is academically strong, is artistically involved, athletically capable, and has a strong moral compass. So he's an all-around achiever.
那么刚刚呢，我们有家长问到那么Woodberry 学校比如说有没有比较特别的这个项目在学校当中那么刚刚我们的这个招生官老师说最特别的呢，就是学校这个课程设置是综合平衡各项活动包括这个学术活动还有课外活动在孩子们的这个日常的这个课程表里面的那么所涵盖的这个方面呢是非常广泛的。那么一方面呢，学校 校这边会保证孩子们他的这个学术的这个成绩，是优异的。那么另一方面呢，学校也非常鼓励孩子们可以平衡包括他们学术成绩包括他们鼓励他们多参加一些艺术的活动。刚刚我们也看到了有不同的这个艺术的社团以及每年有不同的这个戏剧包括音乐的这样的这个活动可以一起参加那么同时呢，也要平衡孩子们在体育方面的一个这个参与跟这个成长那么所有的这些加起来呢，其实都是这个非常这个好的大学，他们非常看重的就是孩子的个人的一个综合素质那么综合素质的培养呢，也是 Woodberry 学校对于这个男孩子们这个培养的一个理念。
We have a really strong math and science program, but our students learn to write and read and be analytical as well. So they end up being stronger candidates at colleges and universities. And we have found that our Chinese students do exceptionally well in the college process.
对，我们刚刚的这个招生官老师还介绍到了学校的这个数学跟科学的这个项目是非常强的那么老师也提到了这个尤其是中国学生在这个上了大学，不管说是在高中还是上大学的时候，都在这个数学还有这个科学方面是表现的非常非常的这个卓越，这也是咱们这个中国学生包括亚洲孩子们非常大的一个优势。OK，那么我们看到有家长在问这个中国毕业生的一个去向刚刚我们在 PPT 里当中已经讲到了我们有包括中国学生有非常多的这个同学们去到了比如说这个全美前10、前20和前30的这样的这个大学那么其中也包括很多的这个常春藤的这样的名校Sure, so let me check. Yeah, so some parents are asking about what is the requirement for apply for the scholarship.
So it's a financial aid application that they must complete, and it's a need-based application. So we do a calculation based on the information that they submit.
Got it. 好那么有家长在问这个关于奖学金的这个申请有没有具体的一个要求那么这个的话那个家长可以在比如说学校的官网或者说是在孩子申请学校当中去要填写这个关于奖学金申请的这样的一个表格。那么学校呢会根据所有申请奖学金的孩子们进行这个评估那么然后最终决定出来有哪些学生可以得到这个奖学金的支持那么关于这个方面的话我们就是我们的这个 InAmerica 的老师们也可以给大家进行这个更多详细的步骤的这个交流那么大家可以随时联系我们的这个小助手Okay. So here is a questions about like is there any like special activities only for like the boys like anything like special programs
Academic?
Like yes, both like academic or like after school activities.
So our boys are scheduled. They have classes on Saturdays, which is a little bit different than other boarding schools. So they are a pretty scheduled day. They have classes in the morning, and every day during the day there are consultation periods, which are like office hours. So students can go and check in with their teachers as they are doing their work during the day. And then they have sports. And then they have meals, they have study hall in the evening. So they're pretty scheduled Monday through Saturday until lunchtime. And then they are free for sports and social activities. So that's the way the schedule works. But we do have several very specific programs that I can talk about. We have, I'll let you translate that, and then I'll talk a little bit about study abroad and some of the other things.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. 我们刚刚有家长问到了就是说有没有专门是为比如说男孩子，因为男校和其他学校不同的一些项目那么老师提到了，孩子们从周一到周六他的这个课程都是被比如说安排好，或者说是被系统化的这个就是根据孩子们他不同的这样的一个兴趣去设计好的那么关于周六的话，孩子们他有一个这个 office hour，是可以随时去跟老师们 们比如说是提问和沟通的那么接下来呢就是午饭那么接下来呢就是孩子们专门的这个体育活动的时间以及下午呢进行一些社交活动或者呢去进行一下比如说是其他的一些周末活动。那么接下来呢这个Carla 招生官也会给我们讲一些比较特殊的，尤其是为这个孩子们设计的比较特别的一些项目。
So we have study abroad programs all around the world, in Latin America, in Asia, in Europe. We also have a fellowship program, which is really interesting for students. They can submit a proposal and they can get money to do very special research projects in the summer. But again, they work with teachers to develop what those research areas are. And many times those lead into a really well-developed senior distinction program that then goes on their college applications as well. So those are a few of the programs that we have that can support the general academic program.
Yeah. 好，我们刚刚呢，老师讲到了，这个关于 Woodberry 还有一些，比如说与众不同的这个 program 哈。那么第一个呢，就是说，学校给孩子们提供很多这种出国学习的这个机会那么比如说去到全世界的这个各个比如说出色的这个名校去进行学习，去进行这个游学那么同时呢，老师也提到了这个我们刚刚讲的这个 research， 那么孩子们去跟着这个单独的老师非常专业的这个老师去研究他自己想要探索的一个话题那么最后一个呢，就是我们刚刚提到的这个在孩子12年级会给这个提供的一些比如说是区别于其他项目的一些特别项目那么这些经历呢，都是可以帮助孩子们更好的在学术上进行成就从而帮助他的这个大学申请的。
I think our program is best exemplified by our physics debate class. It's a class that teaches students who are strong in math and science to think creatively about the sciences. So it challenges them to be able to argue and be able to support what they've learned. And it develops very creative scientists, really strong scientists who will end up discovering new things and be able to think outside of the box.
Yeah. 好那么我们还有一个比较特别的项目哈，就是学校提供了这个物理辩论课那么也可以说是一些科学的辩论课那么这样科学的辩论课呢，可以去给孩子们，比如说对这个科学对物理对化学感兴趣的孩子们，可以去支持他们更加的进行这种学术上的探索那么这样辩论的这样的形式呢，也可以培养孩子们成为非常有这个创新能力的这个科学家。对，这个也是Woodberry 学校非常有特色的一点。Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Miss Carla. So this is almost like all the questions we got from our parents. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you all for your time. And please, if you are interested in Woodberry, contact me directly. I'd be happy to set up a time to speak with any of your families.
Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we will definitely reach out to you and have a good night. Thank you so much.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.